CD 105.9, Omaha's classic rock, where two for the dough could land you $105 in free cash. Van Halen, finish what you started. They should take that advice for their tour. They're taking about a month off because they're exhausted. They're so tired. It's a long tour, and that's what they're saying, at least. They need to recharge their batteries. I don't buy it. I think they're fighting again. What's cool is there are several different Van Halen tribute bands out there, and one of them, called Van Halen Army, has offered up their services for free to do the dates that Van Halen has canceled, which I think is awesome. They're not going to take them up on it, but I think it's a nice little jab at these guys to get their act together and get back out on tour. Today, partly cloudy. We still have a slight chance of maybe a sprinkle this morning. 70 for our high today. Right now it's 61. And continuing in the studio with Staff Sergeant Bobby Henline in the studio. We were telling his story a little bit earlier. 3 tours in Iraq. He was actually in the Army. Got out, came back in right after 9/11, and on his 3rd tour was blown up in a Humvee, burned over 38% of his body, and is now a inspirational speaker and a comedian. Which, being burned over almost 40% of your body and being a comedian, not necessarily the two things that I think of going together. But I've watched your stand-up online, and I got to tell you, I've done a little bit of stand-up myself. I was really impressed. Very, very funny. How did it come about?
It came about joking around with the guys at the hospital. You know, we're military guys. We have 6 sense of
dark humor.
Yes. So we harass each other all the time. Like I was talking about earlier, the guy with 2 legs. So we always give each other a hard time. So my occupational therapist, who has a really annoying high-pitched voice, kept bugging me to do this. You gotta do your stand-up comedy. Come on, you gotta do it. You're so funny. But I didn't think the general public would laugh at it. But she bugged me and bugged me. So finally, I said, all right, I was going to L.A. to do a consultation with the doctor out there, and she made me pinky swear. I had to pinky swear.
You have to do it.
Yes, exactly. I didn't think I was going to be there like Sunday to Tuesday. Monday night, there's nothing going on. I didn't think, this is L.A. Something's going to be going on. So sure enough, she contacted her sister who lives there. She found out the Comedy Store had an open mic.
So you did the Comedy Store for your very first Pauly Shore's mom's place? Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Wow.
And it was just, there's no problem, being on stage, because everybody stares at me no matter where I go anyways.
Yeah.
So that part was, if anything, I'll just stand up there, blank out, and everybody stare at me. I just figured, I can handle a bomb. It's no big deal. I can bomb on stage.
You can bomb.
I know how to handle it.
So did you write jokes? Did you write your first time?
Yeah, so, the first joke I ever wrote, which I wanted to do there, was, because when I first started doing it, I didn't want the sympathy laugh.
Right.
I wanted to see if I was really funny.
So since then, you've done a bunch?
I've done a bunch. San Antonio, after that I went back to San Antonio, and 3 nights a week. I'd go to the open mics, the comedy clubs, meet the other comedians that are trying to make it, and got together with them, started getting comedy shows with them, we went from 3 to 5 minutes to 10 minutes, and 20, and the most I've done now is 35.
Wow.
That I was able to put together, and I got a few stuff on the side I'm working on now, of course, to add to that repertoire. But I got a good solid 30 minutes right now.
That is awesome.
Which is a lot of fun to do. Last year, 4 years to the day that I got blown up, my live day, which we call our new date, I actually got to play at the Tropicana in Las Vegas.
Is that right?
At Brad Garrett's Comedy Club.
Wow, that's huge.
Crazy. Family, when you go to UCLA and you get a buddy family to help you out with your surgery there. My buddy family happened to be friends with Brad Garrett. So they emailed him about what I was doing. He called up and said, what can I do for you? And I was like, I heard you own a club in Vegas? Here, I've been doing it 18 months.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just going to go to Vegas.
Yeah, sure.
And then here I thought he was going to come with that dumb, yum voice. And going to Vegas? Oh, nice try, buddy. But he did. He said, all right, pick any 3 nights you want and talk to your wife. I'm bring you and your wife out and give you 15 minutes, 3 nights, give you a shot at being a comedian.
That's awesome.
And so I found out my live date was coming up. Someone goes, oh, your live date's coming up. Oh, my God. And so I checked out. So my debut was Vegas on my live date. Just incredible. Amazing. 4 years to the day that I got hurt and I'm on stage in Vegas telling jokes about it. And now Brad has moved his club to the MGM. And he's invited me out. I'll be there the first week of July. They bring the burnt guy with all the fireworks, in the middle of July when it's hot in Vegas. I mean, obviously, Brad has a sense
It all
of
makes
humor,
sense.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's all coming together.
He's going to see how dedicated you are to this crap.
Do you really want to deal with this? Let's see.
Well, that's awesome. I know the first time I saw it, I thought, wow, how brave to get up on stage. Already, just getting up on stage is nerve-wracking. Then knowing you're going to get up on stage, tell jokes, and I mean, you're going to know immediately whether people think you're funny or not. It's brutal because if they don't and they don't laugh, it's the longest 5 minutes of your life.
Yes, open mics can be very scary.
And then on top of that, to know, here I am. I look different. Obviously, I've been burned. People stare, and still to be that brave to get up and go, you know what? I'm just going to do it. Good for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. The first video that I saw online of you, I love the opening. You just kind of came out and stood there and let everybody kind of soak it in, as I call it, and then you should have seen the other guy. And I laughed and laughed and laughed. That's just a great opener.
That's the funny thing. When I first talked to Brad, he told me to say that.
Is that right?
Because he asked me what my opening stuff was, and I normally come out and say, I'm a burn survivor. Thank you. I've been extinguished for years. And Brad's like, oh man, I meant you coming out going, you should see the other guy. And I kind of added to it with the delay and everything.
Sure.
And that, I mean, it's just awesome. It breaks the ice and lets everybody know, okay, it's okay to laugh at this. We're going to have fun tonight. It's a good time.
So tonight at Papillion La Vista High School, what can we expect? A little comedy, a little
You're going to have
story, the whole bit?
Story, the roller coaster ride, or what it was like to be in war. I talked more about what it's like for the soldier to deal with their family and complete their mission at the same time. Because you see war on TV, we shoot at each other, you do all that stuff. But how is it mentally for the soldier out there? A lot of people ask me that. So I share how I dealt with family problems back home that I couldn't do nothing about.
Sure.
How I dealt with that, and I'd write stuff down and come out with a few poems somehow. I don't know, I'm never meant to be a poet, but they always turn into poems. Those questions on mine, I'd write them down to get them out, and I'll share some of that stuff tonight, and who I was before, and of course what happened to me, and more details on how I got into what I'm doing now, and of course leave you laughing. I'm going to give you an example of what I do, and with some comedy at the end there, and open up some Q&A. You've got some questions, come on out, and Luana and Scotty can still be there tonight, and meet them. And then talk to Scotty and his mom. My daughter Brittany's there. She was the first ever Military Child of the Year, 2009.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
She's 20 years old, doing college now. She's about to graduate next year in psychology. I take credit for that.
Well, you do a Q&A. What's the craziest question anybody's asked you?
There's always that Catholic school kid that goes, "Did you kill anybody?"
Oh, of course. Did you shoot anybody?
I love that line. I forget what movie that is. Oh, I hurt someone's feelings once.
That's awesome. Tonight, Papillion La Vista High School, 7 o'clock. It is free. You can make a free will donation, and it's going to be a great event put on by Patriotic Productions. And you know what? It's just a pleasure to have you in the studio. I'd love to have you come in sometime and do a set at the Funny Bone and get up on stage with you as well.
Definitely come back.
I have the opportunity to open up for you.
Awesome.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in. Thanks for spending time with us. And have a great rest of your weekend and a good Memorial Day, too, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having us here.
You can go see them tonight, Papillion La Vista High School. It's at 7 o'clock. Yvonne, is there a website people that can go to? Or grab that microphone right there. What?
PatrioticProductions.org.
Okay, patrioticproductions.org. All the details on there and all the other stuff that they have coming up, helping out our troops and supporting our military as well. Thanks for coming in, man. Thank you. Cloudy, chance of rain still this morning, then partly cloudy the rest of the day, and 70 right now, 61, and that's going to do it for me. Joe Blood on his way in. Next, he'll take you up to the Classic Cafe and, of course, the School of Rock as well. I'm off tomorrow, so you get the beautiful Donna Mason in the studio. Enjoy her. I'll be off, and I'll see you guys after Memorial Day. Have a great Memorial Day. Stay safe. Try not to drink too much. Coming up next, I'm Billy Squire.